Hey everybody, it's Dana Joy, and I am here today to show you a beautiful way to make a card with the Hero Arts Poinsettia Window Fancy Die. Let's go ahead and get started. This fancy die is absolutely gorgeous. It has this very detailed die that cuts out little sections that you can lift up to create a card. It also comes with a color lettering stencil sold separately, but today we're just going to be using the die. So the die is going to allow me to have a little bit of a window where I can put a sentiment. But what's so beautiful about this die is that once you die cut it, you can lift up some of those poinsettias and have them popped up off of your card. Let me show you. I'm going to go ahead and run this through my die cutting machine. And once this is die cut, you're going to see that I'm going to be able to maneuver some of those petals. Now, I did die cut this in Hero Art Dove White cardstock. And once I pop out the center of this, as you can see, it's very, very easy to die cut. I have this beautiful tonal white on white here. But what's so awesome about it is I can take some of the leaves or the petals and kind of push those up. And it gives me a little bit of added dimension to my card. So before I go ahead and get started, we're going to go ahead and back this with a white piece of paper because that's where I'm going to want to put my sentiment. Now I'm going to go ahead and grab my Misty, and I'm holding both of these layers together because I really need to set that window piece on top so I know exactly where to put that greeting. I'll hold everything down with my little bit of a magnet here. And for my stamp set today, I'm going to be using the Winter Trees stamp set, also from Hero Art. The sentiment I'm using is the Season's Greetings. And as you can see, it fits perfectly in that window. Now, if you wanted to, you could sponge color behind the window, but I really wanted this to be like a pure white card with just a little bit of gold accents. So once I have my sentiment in place, I'm going to go ahead and dust everything off so I don't get any of my embossing powder where I don't want it. For my ink today, I am using the Hero Art Watermark and Embossing ink. This ink is a sticky ink that allows our embossing powder to grab hold to it. So I did stamp this twice because I'm just using a little bit of pressure on those smaller letters because I really don't want them to bloom too much. Now I can pick that up. I can see that I have my sentiment stamped correctly, and now I can move the Misty out of the way. Now, for my embossing powder today, you guys know me. I love the Hero Arts Gold embossing powder. And I really thought gold with this pure white card will look phenomenal. Now, if you wanted to, you could also use the brass or the platinum embossing powder, and that would look so pretty as well. I'll dump back in any of the excess into my jar, and that looks pretty good. I am going to grab my little paintbrush and just knock away any strays of that embossing powder. And now I can go ahead and heat set this. I do like to heat set from the front and the back just to make sure that I melt the embossing powder evenly. And now we have this gorgeous sentiment to sit in between those pretty, pretty, pretty poinsettias. Now it's time to glue these together. Now, I will give you a little bit of a tip here. When you're gluing this together, just glue the areas that are not going to be folded up. You do not want to put any glue in the areas that you want to pop up. Now, I know the center of these flowers are going to be on my card and just the petals are going to be popped up. So I'm not putting any glue where the petals are or anything that I want to be popped up off of the card. Now I can go ahead and flip this over, and I'm going to really press this down into the card. Now, when you die cut this, it is a little bit thin. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a tip. I line everything up and then I go ahead and run my hand over the entire card. Now, at this point, you might think it looks a little bit bowed, but as you add the layer of cardstock, you're going to see this flatten right out. So I have those two pieces that I'm going to put on a side folding Hero Arts Dove White card base. I love these card bases because they make it really, really easy for me to create in my room without having to cut down card bases. I went ahead and used my Hero Precision Glue on this as well. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to line that up and press that paper down. And as you will see, once I lift this up, I'm going to have a straight card. So just keep that in mind when you're doing this. You're going to have a straight card at the end. So no worries. All right. After that was completed, remember, I wanted to add just a few elements to this. So I am going to take some of those areas and pop them up. And that's what's so cool about this die. And now I'm going to also grab just a few silver gems to add to my card. Again, I wanted this card to be very, very clean and simple. So just a few of these gems is all I'm going to need. Now, again, this does have a color layering coordinating stencil sold separately, and that also makes a beautiful card. This card right here, you guys, is so easy to mass produce because there is no coloring involved. You're just die cutting, adding in a gorgeous sentiment, and a few gems, and you're all done. Now I'm going to bring in the card I made earlier just to show you a little bit of a comparison here. This card right here is made with the Hero Arts Dove White cardstock. This card here is made with the Hero Arts Deluxe Smooth White cardstock. Equally as beautiful, but just a little bit of a color difference. All right, everybody, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope I have inspired you to play with your products from Hero Arts to make your holiday cards. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.